So this is a tuner patch called Tuner 2 because it's my second attempt at a tuner patch. Works as a tuner. If a note's sharp, goes to the right. If it's flat, goes to the left until it becomes sharp for another note. And everything's good. It's green. It's a very sensitive tuner, so I put in a sensitivity control in case, like me, you get a little bit antsy. About it not sticking in green. But if it's going back and forth and hovering around green, you're in good shape. When the sensitivity control's all the way down, it's extremely accurate. As you push it up, it's still certainly accurate enough for gigging. Up here you have an A to G scale. So this is A, B, etc. And it jumps around showing you what note you're tuning to. It also changes color as the octave advances. And if you want a little clue as to what octave you're in, if you press the right stomp switch, it'll display the order. So the lowest octave is a brighter blue than the background blue, on up to the highest octave, which is in white. If you tune stuff to like B9, I'm sorry, I don't have anything for people who compose for bats. If you want to tune by ear, the middle stomp switch emits a sine wave. And if you want to mute, when that light is off, you can probably hear my guitar playing, but you can't hear it coming through the speaker. And then finally, this control down here, if you look on the second page, you have your ins and outs. Up here is the audio input, out here is the audio output. It's in stereo, but the pitch detector only listens to one side. So by default, it listens to the left, but if you'd rather use the right, or if you use more than one instrument with ZOIA, you can switch between left and right input. So again, when this is off, it's listening to the left. When it's on, it's listening to the right. And if the stereo setup doesn't work for you, this is where you would change that. These are the switches that cut off audio. And I think that's it. It's a pretty simple patch. So hopefully it's useful to you. Thank you. So this is version 2 of the tuner I released earlier today. I'm going to keep both of them up on patch storage. I'll show you why in a second. This one, in theory, has a much better graphical interface. It has all the same functionality, but something goes a little haywire with the use of the UIs and maybe the total number of connections that are in this patch. So if you're sharp, it shows more on the right. If you're flat, it shows more on the left. But it also glitches out like that sometimes. And it comes back after a while. But yeah, it can get glitchy. So we go to A. If I'm going to A sharp, if there's a sharp, it'll show not just a sharp A, but an A sharp. It will show a marker in the corner up here. Yeah, that's a good example of it glitching out. like I said, it usually comes back after a little bit. But not always. So some other things, like the last one, it has a on-off switch for passing audio. That's still the left stomp switch. You can still generate a sine wave. The octave will climb up and down this, but it also seems to be glitching out, which honestly surprises me. There's still a sensitivity control, because getting it to settle on all green can be tricky. It's pretty accurate, maybe to a detriment. And then the right stomp switch, which used to show the different colors of the octave, has been repurposed if you want to use the right input rather than the left. If the red light's on, right input. If the red light's off, left input. You know, I think this one, if it worked right, and it's, you know, it's patched up right, that's not the issue. I think it's either, you know, it's either the total number of connections that are in this patch, which is, I don't know, like 300 or something like that, or, you know, the UI is receiving so many different CV values. I can't say for certain. But yeah, so this is version 2.